Hello, this is Cuckoo. Just a little short video about my cameras. Some people ask me from time to time what kind of camera I use, and I mainly use this one. This is a professional, somewhat professional camera called Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera. And by professional, it means that the files don't look great when they come out of the camera. It's because you shoot in a log format that is very flat and sort of washed out in order to preserve as much dynamic range as possible, and in order to make it a really interesting file to grade with as much information as possible. And I shoot in ProRes, which is a sort of professional format. You can also shoot in RAW, but I more and more tend to shoot in ProRes LT, which is like the lowest bitrate. Not the, there is an even lower bitrate format called ProRes Proxy, but that's just a proxy format. ProRes LT is actually a very good format. It looks really good and it keeps the bitrate kind of low. And my main lens was a 12mm SLR Magic. It was stolen a month ago. So I got this lens now just a few days ago, which is an Olympus zoom lens, 12 to 40mm. It's a micro four thirds camera. I like this camera. I shoot a lot with this camera, and there is one huge issue with this camera, and it's the battery. The battery is very small. It only lasts for about, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes of shooting, and even just on standby, still draining just about as much battery as when you're actually shooting. So it's a terrible battery, but I'm trying to change all that today. That's why I'm making this video. I'm just holding my phone here. So I bought this. It took forever to ship it from China. That's because they're using, free and slow shipping, and that's okay. So, what is it? Let's unbox it with one hand. So here. Oh, on that vinyl. That's not appropriate. Yeah, here, I'm gonna put it here. So, took one hand to this. Ta-da! This is an Ansso Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera battery mount. So what kind of batteries can it take? Well, I got these lights here, LED lights, and they're running a Sony battery. These batteries, they are large. The capacity is really good. So this should be like about 8 times as much juice. Well, 7 times. So what I want to do is to mount these with this little mount thing on top of the camera to get even more recording time. Okay, let's do it. Ta-da! Well, so this is the first test. I got a handle here from Cinevate, and just to see if the battery worked, I actually removed the battery, the internal battery, so it's empty now, just to see if it works. It seems to work perfectly fine. These batteries, they're heavy, and the camera is light and the lens is heavy, so it is a bit of a workout to shoot like interviews and stuff with this, which I plan to do in Super Booth and stuff. So I have to work out. Maybe, and also I plan to use this the battery as a counterweight in order to stabilize the camera. With a counterweight below the actual camera, you'll eliminate a lot of unwanted shakes. But yeah, I think I'll try to extend it even further away from the camera and see if I can make even more like a steady cam kind of solution. Ta-da! Well, I'm gonna try this. Maybe not the most elegant solution, but I find that when my hand is close to the camera, it means I have to raise my hand more. But if the hand is down here, the camera is raised, and I could keep my hand low, and I could probably save a lot of energy in my biceps. I'm not the strongest person in the world, and but I'm really tough. What I do when I'm out filming interviews on Super Booth or the NAM show or stuff like that, usually I do it on my own. So I operate the mic with my left hand and the camera with my right hand, and basically uh, the interviews keep going for about a half an hour or something. So I need to be fit enough to be operating the camera with one hand for half an hour at a time. So this, it feels much better to hold my hand low than to hold it high. And now the camera is high, so yeah, maybe it's good, but it's a bit wobbly as you can see. I need to just stay focused and hold it tight. And sometimes when I want to interview someone, I want to keep us both in the shot at the same time. This lens is 12mm, so I can just about, well, no, not really. I can almost get two people in frame if I'm close to them. But I've got a 6mm lens that, if I do like this, first of all, that lens is much, it's not as heavy as this one. It's smaller, and it's like super wide angle, but pretty straight. And then if I do this, I could easily fit like two people in there. So, but then, you know, holding this weight like this is like painful for my shoulders. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna make a test recording and see what it feels like when I'm moving. Okay, first of all, just operating the lens a bit. It's a manual lens, very good quality. Like the depth of field of this is so beautiful. I can now do stuff like this, which with my old lens, it didn't have any zoom, so I couldn't do anything like that. The sound of this, oh sorry, about half a meter away, yeah. The sound on the Blackmagic Pocket is absolutely shite. It's just like a little placeholder for sync, basically. So what I'm just trying now is to see how, if it's a little bit stabilized. I think it's a bit shaky. It's still a bit shaky, and it's a bit heavy, to be honest. Yeah, I think I try to not stretch my arm out for longer periods of time. It's gonna wear me out. Yeah. So, but for reviews and stuff, like, yeah, it's not that bad to hold it like this. It's a bit shaky still, yeah. But it's just my job to keep it steady. Okay. Okay, so the footage you're seeing now is ungraded log footage from the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera. And the footage you're seeing now is graded by me. The thing with log footage is you have to grade, color correct, and grade all the footage to make it look like you want it to look. So anyone who's a first timer when it comes to color grading log footage, it's a bit difficult at first, and you've got so many options. I'm usually doing it with Davinci Resolve, which is a professional color grading software, which I like. But for the last year or half a year, I've been moving over to using ColorFinale Pro, which is a plugin for Final Cut Pro. Then I could do pretty good color grading straight into Final Cut Pro. The color grading that's built in Final Cut Pro is just a joke. It's not good at all. But ColorFinale is it behaves a little bit like Davinci Resolve, but in a simpler way. Not the quality is good enough, very good. You can also use LUTs, that lookup tables, This is just a test for me, just to see what it feels like with this new battery and see how well it performs. With the internal battery on the Blackmagic camera, just turning the camera on, I'm constantly aware of, oh, let's not waste the battery. So I'm never turning it on until the moment when I need to start shooting. But with this huge battery, I think I can keep it on for some time. And yeah, cool. Okay, that's just a little snippet for what kind of gear I use to shoot this. Usually, I'm using a Zoom recorder with audio. This time, I'm just using the iPhone's internal microphone, so no fancy audio for this. Cool. See you soon, everyone.